Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel, and thanks for logging on. Today we're discussing the Rolex Oyster Perpetual Submariner, reference 14060. You can see this no-date sub circa 1990 and purchase it on our website. Subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoy these videos, and please click on the card in the upper right-hand corner of the screen at any time during this video to see our full sales listing for this watch with additional accessories included in the sale, high-resolution images for your desktop, and naturally complete pricing details for this Rolex no-date sub. Now, as I mentioned, the serial number on this watch dates to approximately 1990, and this is the quintessential purist's Rolex, a Submariner, the company's icon among icons, with the no-date dial, the direct descendant of watches like the 6200 of the early 50s. The watch has purity of line and no corrupting influences from Cyclops eyes or dates. Likewise, if you don't get along with the Super Case or the Sub C, this 40mm traditional hollow end link, hollow center link bracelet Rolex might be right up your alley. And if you prefer to swap to a strap and frequently change the shoes of your watch, you're going to find the perforated lugs quite traditional in profile as well as manna from heaven functionally. The watch wears easy on the wrist. This is a watch that wears with the feel of a vintage Rolex while still having the mechanical durability and water resistance of a contemporary Rolex, not to mention a scratch-resistant sapphire rather than plexiglass. 40mm across the round of the case does not include the crown guards or the crown. It's quite slim, 12.5mm. You can see the generously sloped bezel with knurled edges allows the dress cuff to slide up and over, and the balance of the dial absent the date does make it quite relevant to those who plan to use their dive watch in more genteel situations in the office and informal attire. Now, the watch from lug to lug measures as you would expect a pre-solid end link Rolex. The lug to lug is the true measurement for this watch, its span across the wrist being 47.5mm. If you've worn a recent Rolex Daytona on a strap, then you know exactly how this watch wears. It's light and crisp on the wrist. The flexibility of the pre-solid end link solid center link bracelet is polarizing. Not everyone loves it. For some Rolex collectors, it's all they'll accept. For other Rolex collectors, it just doesn't inspire the feeling of wearing a Rolex. But I will tell you, this example is in excellent condition. As a reference, 93-150. The internal printing is in outstanding condition. You can see the minimal refinishing of the bracelet is defined by visibility of internal text, serial numbers, and reference numbers. I will say that externally, full disclosure, pre-owned watch, the clasp has been polished to the point that the crown has lost some definition, but functionally it remains excellent. The watch does feature the flip-lock pull-out dive extension for easy use over a wetsuit, and you can hear internally the tolerances of this one remain excellent. The watch has a handsome tritium dial, but you can see that the hands are later additions. They are Rolex correct parts, but you'll note the difference between the ecru patina of the aging tritium and the bright white luminova of the white gold hands at center. So you get the look of a tritium dial, but you do get a little bit of luminescence such that the watch can be read at night. This is a survivor and a daily driver in terms of condition. I would rate it as about a 7.5 out of 10 in terms of the combination of bracelet finish and retained metal on the lugs. The lugs are full, not factory stock, but close. The watch is in good condition overall, and again, it's been maintained with an interest in keeping it all Rolex and keeping it usable. You'll note the bezel is in outstanding shape. It isn't pitted, gouged, or scratched in any respect, and does turn with a crisp detent. The dial is simplicity itself. White gold applied indices, white gold hands at center, tritium on the indices, luminova on the hands, minimal printing, pre-COSC. As you can see, the watch internally uses the 27-jewel automatic caliper 3000. That does have a free-sprung balance for shock resistance, and it does feature a Breguet overcoil hairspring for resistance to positionally induced timing deviation, but it is not a chronometer, and it doesn't feature the modern 31-jewel architecture and full balance bridge of the caliper 3135 used on the sub dates. The watch is handsome though, and to be perfectly frank, these calibers are capable of keeping COSC time or better when regulated by any competent watchmaker. It does feature hacking seconds, so when you pull the crown to extremity, You do stop the balance so you can synchronize to a reference time, such as a dive timer, and it has all the water resistance of its date counterpart, secure down to 300 meters. Again, I like this watch because with the sapphire crystal 300 meter date and the 4 Hz 28,800 vibration per hour beat rate, you have all of the modern refinements that we identify with contemporary Rolex, with the look, the feel, and the character of a vintage watch. The best of both worlds for many. This is a solid everyday Rolex. So whether you're looking to round off your collection with the essential reference, the no-date sub, or you're looking to get into the world of Rolex collection, this reference 14060 is an outstanding choice. You can see it and you can own it on our website.